Hello, my name is Peyton Gregory, and this is my citizen science project. I chose to monitor my favorite plant, and this is the website, budburst.org, that I recorded my data in. The purpose of Budburst is to monitor the plant throughout different changes of seasons, record weather, amount of sunlight and rainfall, follow the plant's phonophases, timing of flowering, leafing, and blooming, and I would submit all this data to Project Budburst, and the URL is in the parentheses, and scientists can use this information to look at how plants respond to. The plant I chose was the sweet briar rose. The scientific name is Rosa cordesii. There is no fruit, it is disease resistant, and it's usually a red or a deep pink. It is a cross between Rosa rugosa and Rosa wicheriana hybrid, and its purpose is to pass on characteristics to its offspring. So the sweetbriar rose came about from hybridization. It was a nearly sterile flower which was from R. rugosa and R. wicheriana, and it self-pollinated, which created tetraploid seedlings. And these seedlings interbreeded, and it created the sweetbriar rose. It was introduced in Germany by W. So on my first day of observation, which was November 2nd, Georgia was experiencing a drought. And this today was unusually high temperatures of about 75 degrees, which is crazy considering it is November. But that's Georgia's weather. And the soil surrounding the plant was very, very dry. And the flowers were withered due to the changing seasons. And as you can see in the picture, that the plant is basically all dead. For the month of December, I took pictures for the top right and top bottom, and as you can see, the buds are all dead. There are still some leaves in the beginning, but all the buds are withered. And in the bottom right, you can see that there are barely any leaves on the plant. This was later in the month of December. It was actually finally cold in December, around 36 degrees of December 10th of when I put in my data. So it's actually winter weather now. In the beginning of January, we experienced a few inches of snow, in which we got school off. But on January 14th, when I took this picture in the top right and top bottom right, we hit a record high of 74 degrees. I made an inference that the warm weather would cause the plant to bloom earlier than usual, because shifting from having snow to being 75 degrees would cause the plant to think it is spring. So for the month of February, I recorded and took pictures on February 14th. That day was a record high of 68 degrees. I noticed the buds on the plant started to bloom somewhat, but there are only a handful, so it was not enough to cover the entire plant. As you can see in the right picture, the bud starting to open and show the bright pink flower. So the handful of buds that I saw in February started to bloom for the month of March. The plant itself has become fuller, as you can see in the two pictures, due to the leaves growing back. And in the bottom right, you can see a flower actually almost fully bloomed since the month of February. This picture is of all the data that I sent in through Budburst, and it shows you the observation date, the site, common name, scientific name, phenophase, latitude, longitude, and observation number. So this shows all the data entries that I submitted in.